What's fascinating, though, about the Toronto-Chicago matchup in the 9-10, winner to face the loser of the Atlanta game, which will be played first. So the 7-8 game with Atlanta and Miami, loser to take on the winner of the 9-10 in Chicago at Toronto. Raptors, pretty much a consensus 5-point favorite right now. You do have some interesting storylines at play, though, Jared. You get DeMar DeRozan against his former team, who traded him away to San Antonio. You get Nick Nurse, highly rumored to be gone from Toronto. And the early reports are that Toronto, they've already, I don't know, unintentionally, maybe intentionally leaked that Ime Udoka is on the top of their wish list to be named head coach. There are rumors that Nick Nurse will be taking the Houston job as Steven Silas is set to get fired. So there's a whole lot of elements
Nick Nurse
at play
in Houston.
here.
I like that matchup.
That would be a very interesting fit. So do you have the belief that the Toronto Raptors give it a game effort here with Nurse basically with 1 foot out the door? And how will Chicago look as a team that has played up to its competition and then played down to it as well this year? It's two very difficult teams to figure out, especially in a one-game spot here.
Yeah, we were talking during the break about strategy, and you think maybe a moneyline parlay Heat Raptors might be interesting because we expect the Heat to win, and then you'll have some options there because these games are being played on different days. You'll have some options there. Maybe you come back on the Bulls +5 in the second game, but the more we kind of talk this out, and that's why I love talking this out, the more I think maybe catching 5 would be the preferable option here. First of all, this offense goes, the Raptors do, as Fred VanVleet goes, and he has not had a good year shooting the ball, and he did not have a good postseason last year. So maybe there's something going on there with Fred and of course Nick behind the scenes that just isn't quite up to par. And I think as we get now these games on paper where the lines are set, and you look at what the defensive numbers have been for the Bulls in their last 10 games, they're a top 5 defensive rating team, and you see Toronto kind of struggling a little bit offensively, and then you throw in the factor you just mentioned with Nick Nurse already basically, putting his nameplate on a new office window at some point in the near future and taking the name sticker off of his Toronto Raptors office perhaps this week. It doesn't feel like a spot I feel comfortable laying points in or laying anything in terms of a money line price. So while I feel good about the Heat as the favorite winning that game on Tuesday, I don't know if I have the same warm and fuzzy vibes about Toronto at home as a favorite on Wednesday.
And you figure the one thing that will go in Toronto's favor, the defense should be there because it's been there all year as a top 10 unit. But you look at the way Chicago – on their own offensive end, they've been this hot and cold team, finished the last 15 games, bottom 6 offensive unit from a net rating perspective. So that's where I look at it and say, all right, this total is one where I get that this is already priced as one of the lower totals you'll see, and it's 217.5. You don't see many NBA totals lower than that, especially in the regular season. Now it's a different ball game into the play-in tournament. Doesn't this kind of have that feel of like a 103-99
one
type
team's
slugfest?
Not getting to 100, right?
Yeah.
And again, betting unders is not a way to make your heart rate stay calm and nice and chill during an NBA game.
Where you look at it and you go, all right, we're just trying to cash a ticket.
Fine, Wilson. I will get to the window on an under for you, but if it loses,
I'm dead to you.
Go to VSiN.com/subscribe to become a VSiN Pro subscriber today.